What is up, Capricorn? How y'all doing? It's time to see what's going on with you guys in the second week of October. October week 2. First, I just want to start by saying my apologies for being so behind on all this. I have been a busy old ass boy here for the past week or so. That's not the way I like to roll. I don't get down with being late for shit. So, if I'm late for something, you best bet your damn skippy ass there's a reason for it. So, I fell way behind for this week, but the show must go on, so here we are. It's a weekly check-in, so it's just a short, quick, general, energetic overview. Any of you need a personal reading? If you want, you can go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. But I have a link for that right down here in the description of the video. All right, let's see how the energy's looking between Capricorn and the person they're dealing with. How's it looking? How's it looking? October week 2. How's the energy looking? Ooh, Page of Swords. Knight of Swords. Ooh, but the Nine of Wands, okay. Well, I definitely think this person wants to talk to you. For some of you, you might end up hearing from this person. I don't know, though. This Nine of Wands kind of throws a little bit of a monkey wrench in that. I think they definitely have something that they want to say. But they are very heavily guarded. Very, very guarded. So if it wasn't for this, I would say you're probably about to hear from this person. Like I said, some of you may. Some of you may, but is this okay? So this energy right here feels like somebody who sits down and types out a message, a big old long ass paragraph, and then right before they hit send, they delete it. That's what this energy looks like. Got that karmic wheel reverse right there. Man, we got the Ten of Cups, King of Cups. Kind of feels to me like if the two of you could get on the same page at the same time, working towards the same goal, you probably could build something very successful with this. You very well could. Let's see, I know I had the Empress here. But look, we have the Emperor and the Empress. So it's like y'all are mirroring each other. Some of you dealing with an Aries. I also have Taurus. Got Aries again right there. Aquarius. Okay. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. Well, let's see how they feel about you at the deepest level. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Person Capricorn's dealing with their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions. Ooh, the Tower. That's a strange card to jump out first thing, isn't it? Sun reversed. Two of Pentacles reversed. Page of Swords. So it doesn't really look like they're trying to be with you. It just looks like there's something that they want to say to you. Lover's card in the upright. What is up with this individual, man? Have you ever questioned whether or not this person may be a little bit bipolar? Now, I'm no psychologist. I'm not here to diagnose anybody, but when you start seeing this shit right here and their intentions, and then this right here, it's like they don't really know what in the hell they want. I feel like this person's a professional victim, right? They're probably real good at throwing pity parties for some of you. I don't really think this person knows what in the hell they want exactly. And that's not just with you. Usually people like this, it's really easy to take it personal, because I've dealt with people like this before. And it's not just you. They don't know what they want in life, period. Period. Not just in love. They don't know where they're going in life. They don't have any goals. They just live their whole life spinning in circles, being pulled in two different directions, you know? So maybe that's what led to you all separating to begin with. All right, well, let's grab some advice. What's the advice for Capricorn? Four of Pentacles reverse. Okay, you need to be the one that holds the line here. Believe it or not, you are the one actually in control here. And a lot of times, that's why a person will act like this. Because they know that you have control, and they're trying to wrestle the control to where they have the upper hand. You're the one actually in control here, though. If you are able to just hold the line, put your foot down and stand on it, and let it be known that firm boundaries are to be had. And that's a tricky thing to do, especially if you've been on and off with this person. The more times you go on and off with somebody, the harder and harder it is to get them to respect your boundaries. Oh, after you let somebody come and go in and out of your life 2 or 3 times, they, in their mind, you pretty much have no boundaries at that point. So putting boundaries down, especially if you didn't have any to begin with, can be tricky. It's about putting that foot down and keeping it there. And that's just I know it sounds simple, but when you get stuck in the middle of a situation like this, you see so many people bending and folding under pressure, you know? I think you should just hold the line. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they think. I don't care what rumors they go off and spread. Put your foot down and hold the line. Now, ideally, if they finally see that you actually have real boundaries in place, then maybe they will finally decide to act like a fucking adult and say, damn, okay, all right, well, I guess let's have an honest adult conversation and do this the real way. But if they think they can play with you, then they're going to keep playing with you. But we got the karmic wheel in the reverse here. If you haven't been on and off with this person, this energy here, this is all the ingredients you need to create one of those situations that goes on and off for 5 years. So hold the line. Put your foot down and leave it there. All right. Let's shift gears now. Let's see what's happening with the singles and the person that you're interested in. What's happening with the singles? Single Capricorns and the person that you're interested in. Ooh, Empress. Are you going to be the first sign to give me some rainbows and unicorns? 9 of Cups, 2 of Cups reverse. I'm sorry, 9 of Pentacles. Well, for a lot of you, I feel like this is turning into a relationship. But you're starting to question this person's intentions. Some of you are questioning whether or not this person is using you for your money. I know that's not all of you, but this is the card for it, so I have to say it. You're immediately starting to question how this person feels about you. I was just telling some sign a minute ago, earlier today, that I see this a lot. I see this a whole lot. Whenever 2 people stay stuck at one level, for an abnormally long period of time and then finally take things to the next level, there's an energetic shift that is difficult to work through. So like if you spend an abnormally long period of time in the talking phase, and then when you finally make it official, there's a big energetic shift. Or another thing you see a lot of is two people who are together for a really long time before they get married. And then once they get married, everything goes south, you know? That's kind of what this is looking like. That's what this is looking like. But I don't really want to postulate as to why the two of you are becoming an energetic mismatch. I don't know who it's coming from or what's going on. Because sometimes, hey, the two of you just aren't on the same page together. Other times, maybe you're just tripping, you know? I know like with marriage, one of the reasons why marriage does that is because one, the other, or both people had a finish line in their mind. You know, a lot of people say they want to get married, right? But in their mind, all they want is a wedding, not a marriage. So they had this finish line in their mind of, you know, walking down the aisle, saying I do. And then beyond that, they haven't really planned much after that. After you cross that finish line, it's like, I have arrived. And then it's like, okay, now what? So that may be a little bit of what's going on here. I don't know. Let's see how this person feels about you. I think you're really starting to question their intentions. Let's see. What's this person's truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Devil card reversed. Well, one thing is for sure, they still have somebody else living in their head rent-free. And I mean, that's not a guaranteed deal breaker. When I say these things, I'm not indicating that you have to be so healed that you're glowing and floating on a cloud before you get into a relationship. All right? We all bring some sort of past vibrational baggage into a connection. But the question is, what do you do with it? You know? I just think that this person has not done a single shred of healing from their last relationship at all. At all. I think they are ready to settle down, or at least they think they're ready in their mind. But they haven't really decided who they want to settle down with. So they still have their options open. I think that's what you're picking up on. Yeah, they still have their options open. And man, when it all comes down to it, everything else is off the table. If we in a relationship and you still have your options open, it's going to fail. It's going to fail, 100%. At some point. It's not if, it's when. It's going to fail at some point. So I think that's what you're picking up on. They do want to settle down. They just don't know who with. They still have their options open. Now, the way I see it, they have no business settling down with anybody right now while they haven't done a shred of healing from their last relationship. But most people don't know how to heal. And all they really know how to do is try to find a relationship that'll get that off their mind, right? It's just like going to the bar and getting drunk when you're stressed out. Same thing. Well, okay, let's get some advice here. What is the advice? Seven of Pentacles reversed. Well, the tricky part, this is the tricky part. And this is so subjective. At what point do we conclude whether or not something is worth putting forth the work and the effort? At what point? And that's an open-ended question. I'm not alluding to something when I say that. Seriously, at what point do we decide that this isn't worth it? This is not worth it. I'm not putting forth the work, the energy, and the effort on this. I'm not doing it. When do we make that decision? I'll tell you when I make that decision. And this is very loose and slippery. But when a cycle repeats itself 3 times. When, like, for example, let's say I express one of my concerns to you. And you don't even try to alleviate my concerns. And especially if you try to make me feel stupid for it. If it keeps happening 2 or 3 more times, I'm outie. I'm out. I'm out. Or some sort of toxic situation arises between the 2 of us. Okay, well, we better sit down and have a little talk about what's going on here. I need to hear you out. You need to hear me out. And we need to try to meet in the middle somewhere, because it's going to come back around and manifest between the 2 of us again. I'm looking for progress, not perfection. Progress. I'm looking for effort. Because you know that even when your actual divine life partner shows up, you know changes are still going to have to be made. Hard work is still going to have to be put into that. You're still going to have to go inside and consult with yourself about the shit you need to work on in here. Oh, that ain't going to change. I think some people get this idea that their person's going to show up and they're just going to kick their feet back and float on a cloud and happily ever after. No. It don't work like that. So we're looking for progress. I want to see some evidence that indicates that you're putting in effort. Because I am. You best bet your damn skippy ass. I'm constantly at war with myself. Constantly working to become a better version of myself. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be the perfect person next year. But you know, I'm at least going to be a little bit better than I was last year. Even if it's just a little bit. I'm looking for some sort of progress. And most importantly, accountability. Accountability. Now, this is a really slippery topic too, because you see a lot of situations out there where one person will provoke the other person, and then when they get a reaction out of that person, they flip it on them and say they need to take accountability. That's not what I mean. That is not what I mean. It's that's why I say it's such a slippery web of confusion sometimes, that in the first 6 months, we better see some sort of effort, something. Have either of us put forth the slightest amount of effort to improve as individuals, for ourselves and for the sake of this connection. If not, what you're going to see is backsliding. 6 months, a year down the line, rather than being better, we're both going to be worse. When you see backsliding and the ship sinking, that's when it's time to, for me, that's when I'm like, I'm out of here. Nope, I'm outie. I am out of here. So just, I guess, again, that's such a slippery web of subjectivity and idiosyncrasy that hopefully you can figure out how to apply that to your situation. Just don't let your ship sink too far. Don't let yourself backslide too far. because it'll get to a point where if you backslide too far, you'll get caught under an avalanche, and it'll get very, very challenging to work your way out of. All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Capricorn family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down here in the description. All right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity.